So this weekend was a special one for me. And as a lot of you who follow Arise 360 and follow me on my personal social media channels would know, it was my birthday. And not only was it my birthday, I took that moment to have a very special conversation with the king of photography here in the FCT, George Okoro. So let's get into not only that very special photo shoot, but into this interview where he said a lot of great things about getting into the world of photography. You're watching Arise 360. My name is Kachi Offiah, and today is a special day for various reasons. I'll tell you. First things first, we have a very special interview with the king of photography here in the FCT, George Okoro, the genius. And second, today is my birthday. So we're going to be doing a very interesting photo shoot. They have so many beautiful aesthetics here at George Okoro Select. So let's go. We're going to have a lot of fun. We are in makeup right now, and this is Celine. Celine is a makeup artist here in Abuja. Hi, Celine. How do you make sure you get everybody's look, like every individual, you get them perfectly?
Practice. When you continuously practice in the makeup industry, you know, makeup, you can say a look is simple, but trust me, a lot went in.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the person used to achieve that exact look. That exact look to get.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see what you're going to be baking my face to look like today.
You get. So it's always better.
But don't worry, guys. I'm gonna show you, all right, when it's done.
I'm George Okoro, and you're welcome to George Okoro Select.
Bad man looking good in the bad man drip to the car. Spot cars parked on the right spot. Bad man slick and you know. Bad man looking good in the bad man drip to the car. Spot cars parked on the right spot.
So we're done with my makeup. Thank you, Celine. I love my makeup, so I'm gonna get dressed up now. By the way, I think that this is such an eccentric spot because every single location is a spot to take pictures. Literally, like even here, this is like thinking pose. Anyway, I'm sure George Okoro already told you that. So let's get into the studio and make some magic. I'm a terrible dancer.
So George Okoro Select is another branch of George Okoro Photography Studio based here in Abuja. George Okoro Studios is the first branch that we launched in Wuse 2 in 2019 here in Abuja, and is just our standard photography studio. George Okoro Select, which is the second branch that we launched, is our upscale branch, and the reason we created that branch is because we listen to the customers. The customers want more options. Customers come to us and say, oh, I want this sort of background. Or they come to us and say, I want to move my photo shoot to a location. Now, instead of always moving it to a location and the customer having to bear extra cost, we decided to build a studio that feels like everywhere, like has different locations. So everywhere in this studio is a spot for taking pictures, including my office here. So the reason why we use the word select is George Okoro Select gives you multiple options to select from. So we have a range of furnitures that we can use to set up different, settings for you and make every corner look different every other time. a photographer is not confined to a space, first of all. But a photo studio, yes, to some extent, because it's based in a particular location. And yes, by far, not just photography, many other aspects of, business. Lagos will give you more opportunities, because first of all, you cannot even compare the population. But Abuja on its own is growing very fast, very rapid. We have, in the space of 7 years, we've had a tremendous increase in the number of creatives, not just photographers, cinematographers, that have come out of Abuja. And not just Abuja, but neighboring environments like Kaduna, Kano, Nasarawa. So it's very interesting and competitive right now in Abuja.
Modelly and all of that,
So we're going to work with interesting poses, structures, basically, and very edgy. So we make the lights and very dramatic. Dramatic lighting, instead of having to make it very soft.
So basically, you have like 1 billion of these, don't you?
Yeah, we change them every now and then. These are like front and back now. So these
I see.
What
material is this?
Is a canvas. I want us to do with darker. Not this gray now.
Okay.
Well, each client is unique on his own. So by all means, the experience would definitely be different. But what makes it even more special for us is our ability to connect with the client. As a professional photographer, we say you don't click until you connect. And the moment you are able to connect with a customer or a client or a subject, as you may say, and you begin to interact with them, you find out what it is, because you have to understand whichever subject or whoever subject you want to photograph. So in the process of interacting with them, finding out what they want to achieve, you definitely bring out a unique experience out of their photo shoot experience, yes. Okay, so how profitable is photography? The answer to that question depends on who you're asking and the aspect of photography that they are into. There are certain aspects of photography that has truly developed in Nigeria as a whole. And in this part of the country, which is Abuja, if you're focused on shooting something like weddings, documentaries, shooting people, of course you find it profitable, because we have so many events, so many people. There's always something to celebrate in Nigeria. People love to celebrate. So if you position your market in that, if you position your targeting that audience, yes, you should be able to build a profitable business. But some of the challenges that you'll find in the business is the ability to scale the business. Not every photographer or creative has the ability, because you are one person. So if you're running it as one person, you find out that there's only much that you can achieve. If you're booked today, you are booked today, you can't take multiple bookings. But if you're able to crack the code and learn how to scale the business, which means building a team of photographers, like in the case that we have here in George Okoro Studios and George Okoro Select, is that we've been able to build a team of creatives around. So you also find challenges in putting a perfect team together. There's no such thing as a perfect team anywhere or in any business, but it's just like a football team, you bring in new players, you substitute when necessary, and you continue to grow, and that's what we're doing now.
Bad man looking good in the air. Bad man drip to the bar. Smart car, I'm just running.
How do I summarize the George Okoro story? I mean, George Okoro is a young man who grew up in Aba, born in 1986, moved down to Abuja after his youth service, worked briefly in a microfinance bank, worked briefly in the telecom industry, decided to think of something else that he loves doing that can put food on the table. And the camera kept coming to mind because I love the camera. I first fell in love with the camera before photography. He picked up his camera and today the rest is history. Photography is my life. I mean, growing up, I took pictures for fun. I never knew I was going to do this as my source of living or source of income. It's just taking pictures has always been fun. Documenting memories, seeing how it makes people feel. That's it for me. That's what gets me out of bed. Hands, let's always like get an angle. So, you know, come that way. Yeah. So like, you're looking that way. Good. Quitting. Oh my God, have you ever thought of quitting? Have I ever thought of quitting? I have never thought of quitting, but I've gone through a lot of challenges trying to make it in this, industry. Trying to build a business around this has not been as easy as it looks. It has been very tough, very challenging, but even in the challenges, when I look around and see what we've been able to achieve over the years, and when I look at the team that I've been able to build, when I look at their faces, I look at their growth, I look at my growth, quitting is one thing that will never come to my mind. Yeah, I like that. But remember, can you do that without smiling?
Yes!
I wanna be that guy, I wanna kiss your eyes, I wanna drink that smile, I wanna feel the guy, our souls on fire, I wanna stay up all day and all night, yeah, conversation like.
My ginger is always, but my how do I explain this now? So, what gets me excited is what the end result would look like. Because before I create, I have a picture of what it will look like at the end. So if I can feel it in my bones that this is going to be amazing at the end, and it will evoke that expression from the subject that I photographed. There's a saying that goes, put a smile on somebody's face, or the world is already tough enough, be kind. So photography is my own way of being kind, or putting a smile on people's faces, because it evokes different kind of expressions. You see people cry, you see people excited, you see people emotional. It's amazing. This is memories, and it lasts forever. Okay, so that's an interesting question. And I'll take you back to one of the questions I answered years ago when I decided to take on photography as my sole source of income. Taking this thing that I love to make it a business. One of the answers to numerous questions people ask me is, I'm going into this fully to show people that it's possible. So people look at me and what we've been able to achieve and say, I want to become a photographer. Or they can proudly say that I am a photographer when they ask them what you do. I receive calls from parents. They tell me, oh, my daughter wants to become a photographer because you are a photographer. And that for me is like, that is what gives me so much joy, is the fact that we've been able to show people that it is possible for you to be a photographer, or a cameraman, as they say, and still live a decent life and be happy. And I want to build a brand that would outlive me. So the whole idea of setting up George Okoro Studios is for people to walk in and take photos in my name even when I'm not there. So hopefully in a few years to come, we're going to have George Okoro Studios scattered around and outside the country by the special grace of God. sure we're going to look at it and think.
No, I swear down. Damn! We did it!
Bailante, familia BR. Esse teu body, ui, também já é. Tuas curvas loucas, quero me perder.
That was so much fun. I wish I could go back and just do it all over again.